And we are finally live. So I have to tell Chaz this since we're live now. Okay, so I was actually going to be home at 4:30, and my ride was supposed to come. But as you know, in California right now, we're having some sort of big rainstorm. So that's been causing a lot of traffic jams. And today, a guy on a diesel truck like swerved out, and they two collided with each other. So the freeways got just blocked off completely. They closed them down. They closed down all the main freeways where I take to go to work, and the ones even in town that lead to that. It was like that bad. Like it said several like crashed into the like one after the other, and I think it was like 4 crashed together. I was like, fuck. So that caused the people that were coming from their areas that live not like in town, but like, how you like, how you have people at work that come from like out of town, but it's like in town. Yeah. So those people, they're jammed up in traffic. They can't come until like another 2 hours. So my boss was like, hey, I'll just pay overtime. Just can you stay till like 7:30? And I was like, fuck. I was like, all right, whatever. So that's what ended up happening. That's why we were late. So she told me to clock out, take an hour and 30-minute break. And I was like, oh, okay. So I came back at 5:30. So that gave me enough time to watch the final game. Because I thought to myself, they should already have played like 3 games by the time I get on this last break.
Yeah, because don't forget they started earlier.
Mm-hmm. Because finals starts early because you have the ceremony, the fucking whatever they fucking do now.
That's the same, and also what it did was they did it that whenever the LEC ended, it was usually an hour after that. Usually,
yeah. Back in the day, it used to be straight after. Back in the day when you used to have like finals weekend, whenever LEC's over, they just go instantly to it because they want to like transfer the viewership over. So after that, I went and watched Game 4. I don't know how games 1 through 3 went, but I watched Game 4, and Game 4 looked like
I fell asleep. I fell asleep right after Game 3. I was like, yeah, nah. Like I meant
we'll have to because you asked me what series I watched. So for anyone who's listening to this on the replay,
I stood up and watched that Game 3 of GenG. Didn't I say that GenG T1 could have ended just like how the LEC Summer Split ended? Where they
also said it would end just like BLG and JDG's last series too. Maybe you curse yourself because you like T1 a lot.
Nah, I mean, I already knew T1 was busted, but I got no faith in GenG in Worlds. I seen them last year. This is the same team.
You asked me a series I watched. So I watched GenG T1. I watched TL NRG. I watched the one game of C9 NRG, the last one, and I watched Mad Lions vs XL. So the only series I didn't watch was the G2-1 today and the KT Rolster T1 series. I did watch
the KT
one game out of that one.
That was literally it went 2 games T1, next 3, 4 KT, game 5 KT never came back. That's what it seemed like. KT got.
But I want to make sure we say this right now. This is how crazy the LEC format is. Now I want to make sure everyone knows this. I like the LEC format. I think it's awesome. They need to fix various things with it. So championship points. Take that shit, throw that shit in the trash. Remove all that shit. Find another way that works better than what that is. And the summer split. Now, I never say splits don't matter because you saw just like the players' faces on NRG. Like this stuff matters to these guys. So if you want it to matter, why isn't summer? I didn't notice this when they announced the format. Why the fuck is summer not counting for a qualification at Worlds? At least the first seed, at least the finalist, right? Because you're sending 4 seeds. Why can't the first 2?
3.
Or
3. Because that fourth one is a coin toss.
Because at least winning summer, or the team that if the team that wins summer also won another split G2, it's like they should be getting into Worlds. Like, come on, like that. Like Riot formats are already bad. As you guys know, I don't like these formats at all really that much, but that's really bad. You win summer and you don't get an auto qualification to Worlds. That's stupid. That's just bad.
Plus, you play the summer split and then you take a break to play the playing state. Like that's
because after summer you have to play the season finals, and then you already have fucking ring rust because you haven't played in a few weeks. So my last memory of G2 was them fisting XL,
But then now
in 2 weeks, a lot of things can happen.
You screw up XL because now they gotta go back. They had the momentum. You cut the momentum.
Right? Yeah.
And they got a team who just entered the whole summer in Mad Lions.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a break, come back and win. Now we're in Worlds. It's like, what? Mad Lions is garbage. It's like
that's the weird thing. It's like them taking that break is also odd because you factor in if XL, given how that little bit of a hot streak they had, played, let's say like 3 days afterwards. That's not bad. About 3 days afterwards, they're probably going to clap whoever comes next to them. They were playing honestly pretty well toward that back end of that summer split. Now, this is why I tell people, ring rust is an actual thing where if you don't play on stage for a while, you're just going to be running it at a certain point. Like back in the day with the LCK, for anyone who doesn't know this, if you got first place in the regular season, you made it automatically to the finals. That's how bad these Riot formats were. The first seed of LCK would always make it to the absolute finals. You played no best of fives beforehand, nothing. So basically, you wouldn't have played an actual game of League of Legends competitively for a month. Because playoffs take a month to do. That's how shit these formats can be. That's why a lot of the times the LCK first seed would always lose. People are like, why are they always losing? It's the first seed. You haven't played it a month. That should be, that's pretty self-explanatory right there. You played in a single month. Doesn't matter what your regular season standing was, nor matter how good you were in the regular season if you couldn't show anything during the playoffs, So what's also crazy about the LEC format is Mad Lions, a team who had not won a single game since the second week of June of the LEC 2023 summer split week 1, day 3. They haven't won a single game since then. That was the first week of June. Managed to win one best of 5 and qualify for Worlds over teams like G2, Fnatic, Excel, SK, BDS, who also was in a finals too, who also didn't flum out during these splits either. G2 just qualified for Worlds faster. Sorry, Mad Lions just qualified for Worlds faster than G2. And G2 has won more splits than them this year. And also gives people somewhat hope that maybe a Western team can't obviously go 0-3 against an Asian team, How crazy that is. Mad Lions qualified for Worlds faster than G2, and G2 won more splits than them. That's crazy. Now, people say Mad Lions won a split. They sure did. But there shouldn't be a world where Mad Lions should have a best of 5 first to qualify first. Okay? That's ridiculous. This team hasn't won a game since week 1 of the summer split. In June, they were a 9-game losing streak. This team managed to qualify for Worlds faster than the team that's obviously just one summer. They obviously won winter. It's like, fuck. What can we do? Yep. But it's one of these things of like, geez, I don't get it. Sometimes with these formats, but the only thing that I can give credit to the LEC format is no one thought these random other teams would be doing as well as they did. That's the story of the LEC and the LCK, LCS this year. Is these random teams no one really thought was going to be doing anything for the most part, outside of just getting to playoffs and losing at some point. They, all the unexpected things you didn't think were going to happen ended up happening. Like exactly. if you told me that BDS would make a final in 2023 after that, what happened to them last year, I'd be like, I don't know about that. Or as fact is, that's how bad the LEC format in certain areas can be. If Heretics had beaten Fnatic, that means that Koi could have actually been in the season finals. Koi, like Mad Lions last year, hadn't won a single best of 5 the entire year. But due to their format, if Team Heretics had beat Fnatic in that game 2, and they were massively ahead in that game 2, Koi would be in the season finals over someone like, I think BDS or SK or some shit. Koi hadn't won a single best of 5 all year. Where are we at in this world?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I know people have been talking about the T1 GenG series. So as you guys know, huge fan of GenG. I love GenG. Been supporting ever since it was Samsung Galaxy through that one split of KSV to be GenG in that summer split. So if you're talking just GenG, I've been with them since summer 2018. So it's been a good 5 years. So all the highs, all the lows, going to finals, losing, going to semis, losing, going to worlds, losing, still currently on that streak. And then finally they win the trophy last year and I was super happy. Then no one expected them to win a trophy in spring. If anyone says that was no one did. T1 was a massive favorite.
There were some people that
very low. If you go to all the predictions, T1 massive landslide to be a favorite last spring, not this one obviously. Then GenG won spring, and then they now won this one too. So it's a weird LCK split. So to be fair, there's some nice contextual things here. This has been the 4th back-to-back finals for T1 versus GenG. T1's only won one time out of it, so it's still history. What's crazy is Score, who's their coach, has now won more titles as a coach than as a player. Remember, guys, Score's been playing since like 2012. Score's now won more titles as a coach than as a player himself. That's already crazy. Also, this is T1's, I don't know how many finals as an organization. How many? It's like, did they put up on the screen last time? It was like the 16th final. Yeah. That's fucking crazy, man. Just think about all that stuff. This is Faker's like 13th final or some shit like that. I think we have to factor in this T1 team was pretty much written off with Kobe. And, when Faker came back in, it fixed a lot of their issues. And I do think they played well, and I think the problem here with losing the finals, it's if you're going to be like, well, were they as good? It's like, no. You can lose to someone, but still be as good as you played along the way to get there.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you this. I saw all 3 games. I could tell Faker didn't care after game 2. He was like, okay. Look.
It was that outplay that happened on Silas where he came in on Maokai, remember, and he tried to W.
That
he
too.
Didn't predict that Chovy had flash.
That so too. But the way he was talking to the players after game 2 is like, we're in worlds. I don't care anymore. I think he didn't want to go for 5. I think at this point he was like, we're in worlds.
Because the thing here, man, is it's something because have you ever played a league game where like you're evenly matched with someone, and the only reason why they win is because they calculate. I don't say calculate. They like kind of do one thing a little bit better.
That's the same thing in Pokemon. The same thing in Yu-Gi-Oh. Sometimes a player could ID because it's better. And sometimes we
were watching it till last night. It wasn't that it was just better. It was more like it was simple, just very minute.
You saw game 3, right?
The entire thing. Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you could tell Faker was just like, all right, we're winning world.
That draft was terrible. They
like, no, that's what I'm saying.
I don't typically blame draft. I don't.
MSK, that's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm trying to make. Mm-hmm. He at some point was just like, all right, cool. We're in worlds. All right,
he was trolling. He picked Ali into Cassante. That's
what I'm saying.
That's so troll.
No, that's what I'm saying. They already secured the world spot. He did not care because I'm gonna tell you, as someone who's competed in a shit ton of games, if you already know you're locked for playoffs or play-in, you stop giving a fuck. Like,
can that be a good or bad thing?
Because it gives him more time to rest. He didn't have to play 2 extra games. He just went home. He was like, fuck, I already got enough. LCK can't.
You know what I think happened is that since they played KT in 5 games, they showed all their strategies too.
That too, but this is why I say game 3, they did not care. I think they saw how it was game 2, and then they looked at it. It's like, they're like, all right, cool. We're in worlds anyway. Do you guys really want to go out and try? I think Faker was the only one that he won. He kept the morale up, like, let's go out there and try harder. Yeah. But knowing that, fuck, we do not care. It's like, we're going to go out. We're not going to just straight forfeit. We're going to go out and try our hardest. But it was like...
I've seen series like that a lot. Yeah. Where, like, the first 2 games are just stomps, but that third game is a little bit more scrappy, but still most... Because the reason why I knew it was GenG favorite is their draft. Like, I don't typically blame draft...
It wasn't even just draft. They just had a better momentum.
Well, the reason why I'm saying it's because I don't blame draft, and people always seem to harp on draft. This one is unplayable. What they drafted can't win, even if you're having.
And that was the point. And that was the point. T1 did not care about winning. Look back at all 3 drafts. They were once they said whoever went between KT and T1 goes to Worlds. That was T1 finals right there. Yeah. Once all we gotta do is secure words. That's it. We don't care about place anymore. At times, it's kind of better to not place them first. Then you get some.
Well, in league, it's actually been better in history not to place first.
That's what I'm saying too. And I think Faker realized, let's take the easy way out. Let's fuck it. I mean, it'll be good to win another LCK summer split and all that, but sometimes you gotta look at the bigger picture. It's the whole thing. Why some players in Pokemon ID, if you know you can ID, get a tie, get a couple points, or in this case, get some rest. I take an hour off, because you take an ID right before a break, and then you come back, you're refreshed. You're looking at that, you're like, okay, now this. I saw the draft, and I saw the draft and went straight to Fleet because I already knew GenG 1 and 3. I already knew.
Because my thing here, because
Yeah.
I have the game up right here because this is the thing because like you know how you've seen League Series where the first 2 games really close, not like really close, my bad. First 2 games stomp, and then the third game is like it's kind of scrappy, but you know the team that's winning or has won the previous 2 games is still gonna kind of win because the draft is better. Now I want to make sure I preface this. People usually blame T1's losses on draft outside of just actual mechanical gameplay being bad. This is a draft that is so unplayable at a certain point. It doesn't matter if the players could. It doesn't matter if you were scrapping early because they just have every counter. So when Chaz is right too. Literally when I saw them pick Talia into Cassante, I was like, I'm going to bed. I ain't watching this shit.
No,
this is what happened.
I didn't even wait for them to start playing. I turned it off at draft. I was like, yep. T1 has figured out where we already got to Worlds. This game does not matter. Does not saying it don't count. It does not matter. There's a difference.
Because the thing here is, so first of all, in this game, so people have always said Delight is an amazing Rakan. Don't know why they give it to him. That's already like, all right, L. Then first of all, they gave him his best champion in game 3, the deciding one where they have to get to a game 4.
They didn't give a fuck about game 4. I could tell after game 2, they was like, all right, cool, let's play.
Carrier was playing for GenG last night. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. I was like, what's happened to this guy? It was amazing at a lot of points.
He was playing bad on purpose. The issue is if you play bad too well.
How much do they PayPal that guy to play that way?
That's the issue too. You don't want people to start thinking that you're win trading. You play bad enough where you're okay, this team just had a bad day off. Because if they assume that you had a bad day off, no one's going to assume that you're win trading. It's like, all right, cool. T1 just did not care to play. They came in, they played, and they went back home.
Too. People know Nyla is a champion where if Nyla gets solo kills in lane, you cannot kill her. That champion is flat out pretty much unkillable if she gets a few kills early on, getting items early on.
If T1 and GenG see each other, see themselves in Worlds, and it goes the opposite way, I'm gonna tell you right now that was because T1 did not care.
And also this game turned out to be a lot more scrappier, but later on in the game, Maokai insta locks down all their champions except for Sejuani. Jax, no way Gnar outside lanes Jax. If Jax skills to a certain point, no way Gnar outside lanes him. Guys, Talia into Cassante has to be. I've never seen Faker pick something like that. That must be the biggest troll thing I've ever seen. Nothing Talia do will matter to him. He's too tanky ever. So even if Cassante scales to like level 16, nothing to you. So you know the rock thing she does? Nothing. Yeah. Even you know how the seismic shot thing she does? If she does it to him, he just goes, all right, that's cool. I'll just grab you. Like, what? Exactly. That's so troll, man. I saw that pick and I was like, I'm going to bed. I'm not watching this live. That is
I was like, all right, okay. T1 has given up on the series.
They willingly actually picked Talia into Cassante mid?
Oh, no. I knew it immediately after that game, too. I was like, oh, okay, this about to be 3-0. T1 has no care for the series. Because they already been once you are that. It's the same thing with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. Like Yu-Gi-Oh in the sense, once a player is qualified for whatever nationals or like Pokemon, I've seen players get qualified. Or this player, he told me years ago when he qualified for Pokemon back in January, February, he stopped playing Pokemon until June. He played online, but he just didn't play in person in June. He was like, dude, I got all my points to go to Worlds, not national Worlds. There are players, once they get all their points and they qualify for Worlds, I've seen players just stop playing. They just.
You know what's even worse about this series? Because I think you were right on the game 3 point. Like, I think at game 3, they're like, these guys are just too good right now.
I won't take it away that GenG was playing great, but.
Oh, no. Because I was going to add to that. You remember those first 2 games where the interactions that they had were so close that if they went T1's way, maybe the series pans out a little bit more different? Yep. Remember, people factor in the moments that they had in the other 2 games that were really close, if they go T1's way, I think the series goes 5 games. But I think I think they all got morally defeated after those interactions went the way they did. Because when those interactions went the way they did, you saw their faces. They're like, oh,
I think Owner Gumayusi
was getting gapped so hard.
Because Owner started crying after. Gumayusi was just like, all right, cool. You could tell he was mentally defeated. Carrier,
games 2 and 3.
Carrier and Faker did not care. They were like, all right, cool. We're in the world.
You see Faker last night? He was smiling after that game. She was like, guys, we are getting fucking beating the shit out of us right now.
And then because I watched everything up to the draft, and then Faker, he was looking and he just had like a salt pop in his head. We don't need to play. We just need to go out there and act like we're playing. We're already in Worlds. Because there's a point where
you ever had that playing like a competitive thing where you're like, it's not like you're bad. It's more like that guy is too hot right now. I can't do nothing against this guy.
That's happened.
That's what the series felt like. When those small interactions went GenG's way, I've been
on both ends of the side. This Saturday, my deck bricked, and I just knew it was like he had everything. And last Sunday, I had the same thing. Last Saturday, I was the guy on the opposite side. No one could beat me, even if my deck bricked. My deck was just too consistent. But it was like, okay, I took out some consistency cards, tried it. It worked. It didn't work. It was one of those things where, you get on a hot streak. It's trust me.
It's like remember, GenG had played their games out so well last night. Remember, the only thing they did bad was game 1. Remember how they tried to dive Owner in the top side? Game 1, they messed up. And then in game 2, remember when Chovy and Peanut tried diving those Owner again?
Yeah.
And they messed up. It really felt like Chovy and Peanut during the series did their best to make sure Owner felt like he wasn't worth shit.
Yeah.
Because the way he was, they got in his head so hard, guys. He was messing up basic Maokai interactions. It's like, you can't be doing that. They got in his head that hard. Oh,
he was already in his own head. That was the sad part about it.
It was that Silas game when he should have flashed W'd Chovy. Chovy doesn't get out of the situation. That laning phase goes so differently for them. He doesn't. He lets Chovy flash over him. He W's over him. Because
he could have kill. He could have done that and still got killed and still gave over a goal. That's the issue too.
Well, the thing is, Chovy would have died and Faker would have got the kill when Faker made a priority on being
because
being on the map.
Chovy might have not died though. That's the thing. Chovy was slightly tankier because Maokai wasn't at the damage threshold that could have killed him.
No, but Chovy only had like 30 health. If he just W's him, if you flash W's him, and Faker does his charm, or not charm, he did Q.
Faker would have had to hit it though, because that was the issue.
Faker he had to be almost 100 health. Let me see.
Faker was 100 health, but he wasn't hitting the Ari charms. Like it was that was the thing too. If Faker hits it.
Also, before we go over this play, this draft is also which ones? This is GenG, right? This draft is not bad. Why the fuck is there a Lulu here with those Aphelios? That's terrible. They have like a weird early game comp, that has a Lulu for shielding. No, you don't pick Lulu here.
That's why I'm saying T1. That's why I said T1 did not care. Yeah,
but was Rel banned? No, Rel's not banned. They have Thresh, you have Rel, you have Leona, but they choose Lulu on Keria, who's supposed to be one of the best playmaking supports in the world. What drafting is what's so
they
bad?
Did not care, MSK. You're not understanding. They did not care. They're the consensus with a bunch of people.
Well, no, these are all comfort champions for them. That's
what I'm saying. If
you put on comfort, stop.
If you play comfort, a lot of times you're playing safe. When you play safe, you don't play to win. You just play to play. Mm-hmm. And that was the sad part about it.
All right, so here's the interaction me and Chad are talking about. So Chovy has 20 health here. Okay?
Yeah.
He has 20 health, and if he dies right here, this game probably pans a little more differently. So I know people just like, what the fuck happened? That last time I was like, what the hell happened? All right, so you slow it down a little bit. Okay, so Faker's actually winning the laning phase here. Ari does win early on. That he probably has like 60 health there, maybe 50.
Yeah,
so Peanut's right here. Owner's right here. Owner has flash up. I mean, okay.
It was about
so Owner has flash
up. 150. It was about 150.
Chovy, E's, Q's, chains in right here. So right here, Owner somehow his flash maybe flashed late, maybe he flashed too early. He didn't connect with his Maokai W. I see it right there. It wasn't Owner's fault.
You mean Maokai Q?
Chovy's chain connected first. He's using W animation right there. He flashed. I didn't know All could do that. Wait, because so you have to cast your chain as he's doing it to you. Okay, that makes sense. So basically, Chovy knew if he didn't react instantly like that, he was gonna lose the laning phase.
Yeah.
Faker gets that kill right there. That laning phase is all his.
Yeah.
So right there, after that, Peanut ends up killing Faker. Yeah, he does. He seizes him up.
Yeah.
Chovy flies like, fuck this, I'm out. And then Owner's like, where the fuck did Chovy go? Bro, he's on a ward, Owner. You can see him. Why are you fighting the jungler? Like, what is he doing? I mean, he does have TP, so maybe he can make it back. If someone's mechanically outplaying you like that, you're just like, fuck, I can't do nothing.
And then at that
this
point,
too good.
And then it was like,
imagine he.
It was like,
no,
GenG outplayed. GenG outplayed Team One, but but I'm not gonna get over because GenG because they've been playing the same way.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. Oh, I've been playing a few Silas games today.
I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you. That is crazy. That guy is insane. He knew if he didn't do that in that moment, he would be dead.
That fight, there's a good chance T1 replaces Owner next year. I think he.
Oh, he's not. Let's be honest here. Come on, this is another one too. This one right here. After this, their confidence is utterly destroyed. So Doran, they think they're gonna kill him. He flashes over the wall, gets his sweet spot, and then he kills Zaze.
all the T1 fans were like sad. It was like, and then there was some that were like,
some
knew what was. But you know the thing is too, there were some GenG fans. There were some GenG fans that weren't happy. They was like, T1's not even trying. There was some go back and watch the live stream. There were some GenG fans that were.
I saw some of the threads. The only thing I was mad about was if you're that far ahead, there's really no reason for you to run into the enemy jungler and just try and greed for a kill. You don't need to be doing it at all, you know. But it's just right here. He doesn't need to be invading him right there. This is just pure greed. There's no gain from this. They can't collapse first. Look at where Paze and Delight are. You can't collapse on that. This was just pure greed. This happened in 2 games too, where they tried doing this. This is just bad. These are the only mistakes they actually really only did. It's sort of like, oh, okay, just the coach be like, hey guys, you don't need to be doing that. There's just no need for that. You're already winning. You don't need to go out and greed for kills like that. The bot lane can't even collapse. The bot lane's like, you guys okay? You guys on crack? Oh god. So that's pretty much it for most of this series overall. Delight had an amazing series. T1 just kept giving Pace Zeri for whatever reason. He just kept getting Zeri.
It was like people were congratulating GenG, but then someone said GenG should not feel happy about this one. T1 did not come in.
They felt like they were just drafting on autopilot. They just drafted like
that's what it is. You guys comfort. That's what I'm saying. GenG had to show us anything because it's like T1 just did not look like they came to play.
This is just basic GenG for me. That's all it is.
Yeah, I'm saying this is if GenG come to this in World, they're not winning because this series does not show anybody anything. It doesn't. And that's the sad part about it because it's like all right.
Well, it does show you that Chovy is mechanically insane.
Chovy is mechanically insane, and if T1 chooses not to play, GenG is gonna look like fucking gods.
Yeah, because factoring. You know what's crazy about these GenG series is the one in spring. Remember Doran? He had that amazing Gragas series.
Yeah.
Remember what was it? This series, Paze just putting his dick out. That motherfucker is eating KFC all day. Look at that fat fuck over there. That motherfucker living off KFC over there. That motherfucker having
Delight.
You mean
Delight?
Delight? Yeah, Delight was that man was having a great time last night. Jeez.
Yeah, he was I was like, okay,
there you go.
You got this round, but it's like there's people really saying,
What happened?
Nah. There was people saying like, I don't know if GenG should be taking this one to the bank. Like, oh, we won. It was like,
well, I don't know. I think it's more bad. Okay, so it's a twofold thing. I think if you're T1, I think it's because people during T1 weren't actually expected to be in the finals. It's supposed to be KT and T1. They actually came in this split. They got enough wins with Faker to pretty much secure themselves playoffs. They had the lowest seed. Well, second to lowest seed. They came at 4th, right? They were 4th or 5th. One of them came in. They stomped their last 2 series against Liv Shitbox and fucking non-shiv ass trash. Then they beat DK. Then they ended up beating KT, the first place team. A lot of people thought they were the front runners to win the split for the most part. Then they lost to GenG, 5-game series, Then lower bracket, they beat T1, they beat KT again.
At 5.
Yeah, like this was a split they weren't actually supposed to even win, though. It's not good enough to not win, because I know Koreans always like to win. But this is a split they weren't expected to even be in this spot. You know what I mean? Like, because we had shows a few weeks ago, we're like, if they don't shape it up, they're not going to be in finals. You said finals. I was like, oh, shit, finals. They better hope they make it past a quarterfinals berth or some shit.
Nah,
because they weren't supposed to be here, honestly.
No, I already knew that. I knew if they get to the playoffs, they're getting fired, because if they got to face fucking DK is dysfunctional. Yeah. They look functional, but you look at them like, nah, these motherfuckers.
Because I know Sean in the chat, he was like, people did blame their draft. It's not really just draft. It's more like if draft is really one of their biggest problems, if a dude is popping off this hard on one of his best champions, you just ban it. I know it sucks wasting a ban on that, but you can't just keep giving him his best champion.
Unless you don't care. Unless you
just PayPal'd every person on GenG and you're like, fuck it,
Yeah.
It really did feel like they PayPal'd Gumayusi last night to throw that, because Gumayusi never plays this bad. Even in T1's wins, he always plays good. He's never looked this bad. Except it was last summer he looked kind of off, but he's mostly, for the most part, looked pretty good. Even in their losses has looked good. Last night, him and Carrier were, maybe it was just to be fair, maybe it was just a bad day. It happens to the best of people. Maybe it's just a bad day, bad read on the series, bad read on how good this team is.
Or you just don't care. Like, it's the whole thing.
Or you simply just, I said, PayPal'd every single GenG member and was like, hey, fuck it.
Not even that. No, and this is what I'm saying. Sometimes if you secured what you want, every other game before that does not matter. It's like,
because to be fair, like I mentioned before, they weren't supposed to be here in the finals anyway for the most part. So this is already good enough for them to a certain extent. Now, I know we were talking about this last night in the watch party. Remember?
And got put into Worlds. Yep.
Remember last time we were talking about the whole thing with Faker? So I think it's two things. I think him coming back makes Faker more of a valuable asset to T1. I do. So like they know he goes anywhere else, we're probably pretty screwed. So you keep him. Faker has to stay for the most part, unless there's a player that is better mechanically than him and also has this whatever natural charisma he's got that makes people want to play better around him. So you have to keep him. The other players, the reason why it looks kind of bad on them is because people knew how hard they ran it without him. So if some of these players are going to the offseason trying to get on other teams in the LCK, the other people are going to be like, wait a minute, without Faker, you didn't look too good. You were playing pretty bad. Is that T1 player a priority? Like, yes, in an ideal world, these guys would be great offseason agents. Like, imagine where Carey is an offseason agent. Zeus, owner, probably should be lucky he even has a career next year for the most part. And Gumayusi, you're like, yeah, fuck, give me all those players. But wait a minute, you guys didn't look that good without Faker there. That's the problem with him coming back. Him coming back, making them look good, also devalues the other guys too.
Yeah.
So I don't know how someone would feel about that. I know that's been brought up. To be fair, we can only really cross that bridge after Worlds. But I would say it really just depends on the systems you put around the players, though. Because I've seen this happen before where players don't look good around someone else after a while. It just depends on coaches and what systems you have in place to make the player obviously feel like they can do enough without someone else having to essentially micromanage them.
Exactly.
After that, we talked about what? LCK, LEC. Is there any other LEC thing for T1 and GenG? Oh, I saw people mentioning the fact that GenG won't perform at Worlds. Well, if you put it into context, the last two Worlds, 2020, 2021, people forget they were one game away from making the finals against EDG, who ended up winning Worlds, actually. And GenG, outside of 2018, they've always topped their group. They always finished first place in the group. They even finished first place in the group last year at Worlds too. I would say the match against DRX was really bad last year. Like Chovy, God, he just ran it the whole series. That's what you call choky right there. I think people forget it's not like I don't think that's bad for the most part. Like getting top 4 if I support something. It's more like I don't like losing in that way. That's just terrible. Yeah. I'd rather lose in a nail-biting 5-game series than just get completely ass-stomped for the most part. Because when you get completely ass-stomped by someone, people start questioning, like, was this team really that good? But if you have a close, 5-game series, people are like, okay, yeah, They probably weren't that good. So that's what I think is, if any team is people like Duran, for these Korean and it's same with T1. Like I said last year, when I said T1 was going to do very well, people were like, but they lost to GenG. Like, it doesn't matter if their floor is better than all the teams they're going to face. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they just lost to GenG. That doesn't mean shit. You want to know why? No other team beside LPL teams is beating them. I know, man, if you're NRG right now, you're probably thinking like, man, T1 they just lost to GenG. Doko's like, I can take out Zeus. No, Doko's going to get absolutely fisted.
Probably Faker Zeus versus actual Faker.
Yeah, Faker's going to actually just demolish him, you know?
Because that's Carrier versus Ignar. I can't wait to see that. Yeah, imagine if they end up in the same.
Remember it happened remember how the narrative happened in the last Worlds, where people were like, but this LCK team got second. You better hope to God you don't face that second team. That second team is mollywhopping everybody.
That was when who was it? 100 Thieves. Who the fuck in what Korean was it? Which
no, your group was GenG, RNG, 100 Thieves, and Flying Chinks.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we got RNG, we can beat them. I was like, the Chinese
RNG's power rank to win the event. What? Those 100 Thieves fans on that Twitter were coping hard. Like, you guys know this team is power ranked to win the event. You know that they just won the last event, right? But like, no, they're weaker now. That's cool. I hope their floor is good enough as that team's floor, because that don't mean shit, honestly. Remember, a lot of these LCK teams and LPL teams, they don't play well. They don't play up to their par in week ones. The Western teams can't even fight that. So it'd be like Dragon Ball Z. So let's say if I can't even beat Goku, Kaioken, there's no way I'm beating him with Super Saiyan 2.
No, fuck that. It's like when a motherfucker gets his ass whooped by Yamcha and you want to fight Goku. Like, nigga, what?
You better, bro. There's levels to this shit.
Motherfucker, you get your ass whooped by Krillin. Like, if you getting whooped by Krillin, just ass.
Delete yourself.
just.
Mark, nice to meet you, man. If you're a new chatter here, nice to meet you, brother.
What's going on, Mark?
He's not staying.
Oh, God.
Now we'll go on to the LCS, because just for context here.
Okay.
Chaz, before you go, me and Chaz, we're gonna do another episode coming up this next Saturday after my main show, so I can go over all the best of fives. Okay. So after work, since I had a really long day at work, the only game I saw was from Game 4. So I'll get caught up throughout the week.
Matter of fact. Okay. I'm gonna talk about minutes real quick.
Yeah, sure.
He wasn't the reason why they lost the series, but he's the
reason why they lost Game 4.
He was the reason why they lost Game 3. No. Go back and watch Game 3. This motherfucker stayed in tick. Let me put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Cloud9, whoever they get next year, Amenas is gone. He should not be back on Cloud9 next year.
Unless he's giving fucking sexual favors to fucking Jack, then sure not.
This motherfucker, he was one of the reasons why they lost the series. He straight entered the series away.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Motherfucker was running it. I watched Game 4. I was like, context, I don't know how Game 3 ran, but Game 4, when he picked Yone and he started out 4 kills, you're like, hey, to be fair, in a solo queue game, your fucking enemy team Yone starts 4 kills, that game's over. Not with that guy.
No,
if Chovy starts a game 4-0, you best believe he's running you down to the grave.
Yep.
Give Knight 4 kills on Yone. See if he loses that game for you. Nope. The thing here, to put into full context, is yes, it is a Menace's fault. They pretty much lost the series. And people are like, is it between? No, if you really look at how at least Game 4 went, he solo lost that series so hard for them. Being that many kills ahead against a counter pick, and the way he kept getting inting, the way he kept getting picked off. No, he straight up, that game right there, CLC's not going to be on C9 next year. That right there, doesn't even know how Worlds could, so that could actually make semis or Worlds this year. Doesn't matter. That game right there, CLC, he's homeless next split, or in soft season actually. When they went to do Baron, Blabber smited early, so Contract stole it. People forget that. They went to do Baron. If they had gotten that Baron, Contract maybe. Slight maybe it goes somewhere.
NRG was a little too far ahead.
Like maybe if we get that Baron and get a few like picks, maybe something happens. But
and then
they're
people
still
in the
winning the
chat,
game.
and then people are saying in the chat why didn't none of them get all pro? It's like because when you lose to Immortals, people remember that more than when you win against Cloud9.
It's crazy that IMT and a lot of the teams that they lost to, the really, really bad ones, those teams are fucking worthless. And they won the split. And it's more like
that's the issue. That's the issue with NRG. Stop playing down to these shit teams.
Oh, but I wanted to say this before we talk about NRG and more Cloud9 is I'm so proud of FBI because before we even go over anything, remember people told me that they made a mistake getting him over Luger. Remember that? People said getting him was a mistake over keeping Luger. I'm like, motherfucker has been to Worlds constantly. Motherfucker has won a title. And you tell me they're gonna keep Luger over him? Nah, fuck out of here.
Yeah, I fucking heard that. I was like, Luger. Who the fuck is Luger?
Luger was the previous ADC, remember?
Oh no, that was a joke. I was like, my bad. I knew who Luger was. That was the joke I was telling people. Who the fuck is Luger? This nigga, this motherfucker that FBI just constantly fucks.
Also, FBI beat the shit out of him every single time. Actually, for more better context, beat him with before he got replaced.
Yep.
What? Ichiro pulled that last split in playoffs, and FBI actually beat him.
Yep.
That's crazy. And people are like, I don't want FBI. He has positions where he completely throws games. At least people have to you have to play well to get into positions.
That's like every player. Fuck.
That's every player on every fucking league team on this planet.
Even GOAT Double Lift apparently, like, people call him GOAT. It's like, oh, he throw like this motherfucker is the reason why 100C's choked ass this year. And he's not the main reason. It was the whole issue with Beergen leaving early, plus Beergen even coming back. But that's a whole nother podcast another day. But no, Armenas, he's done.
But Armenas for sure, like, it doesn't matter how Worlds goes, guys, he's gone.
The only way he stays is if Cloud9 wins Worlds. That's the only way. No, but the issue I see with the Menace is him being blunt is good to the fans, but it's bad to the coaches. When he said, "Oh, I'm gonna get whooped by Chovy," no, you need to have confidence to say you can beat Chovy.
He probably shouldn't say that his Oris merch is ass. And also, I think that's C9 merch looks great. Actually,
but you gotta think about. He's thinking about from.
That's a subjective taste for anybody. So that doesn't matter.
He's coming over from Korea. That's the thing. He's looking at their merch.
Their attire is entirely different. Honestly,
I was like, but first of all, they actually got motherfuckers at sweatshops, and you could Google this up. They actually do. They got them in China.
Okay. Okay, how about we start here? So before we talk about the game that I saw and the finals in general, because remember, NRG also beat Team Liquid. Well, I'll have to talk about them too. C9 in this playoffs, people forget. Like, I love C9, but as you people know, I with all the orgs that I support, with G2, whether it be GenG, with the C9, with the RNG. If they're playing good, I like what I'm seeing. That I will praise them. But if they're playing bad, I'm not going to hold my punches back. So this is something people didn't understand this playoff series with Cloud9 is. Last playoffs, when Spring, that Cloud9 that people thought would happen this split didn't happen. Last spring, they completely just took a fucking fist and shoved it on all our asses. That Cloud9 peaked in spring. That Cloud9 went to MSI and failed. This Cloud9 felt like they were kind of just, throughout most of the split, kind of just playing on autopilot. Then in playoffs, they face EG. There's clearly moments that EG could win against them. EG's throwing it. Cloud9, right? Obviously, if someone throws and you're going to have to, obviously, catch up. Yeah. It's fine, right? But those are dangerous positions to be in, though. Like, remember, this team really shouldn't be in those positions, though. You kind of factor in a world where if these teams, the ones that got the leads against them in their series against them, NRG and EG previously, C9 going to the lower bracket may have resulted in their title win today. Remember, there was a few games in those previous series they looked dominant. All those other games they won were not like stomps. Those were games where like this guy with the lead runs it down. That's how they got back into a game. Remember there was a game that EG played against them where they just left Berserker alone and it's EG. They have revenge. That's kind of just the world you live in when you have that fucking dog shit fucking top laner. There's a game where EG literally sit there and let Berserker just hit them routinely. That's acceptable? It's like, dude, that would never happen internationally. You go internationally, if you're losing a game that hard like they were, and you simply left the ADC, they would never leave the ADC to free far like that. Then in the NRG series, I told Sean this on Twitter. NRG played well into Cloud9 last week. I would have preferred they lost to NRG last week, then had to face Team Liquid, warm themselves up, then play NRG, right? And then you also have TL and NRG series yesterday where I know LS talked about this too. So I think there was one of the games where TL maybe could have had it, but when it got to game 5 and Palafox is out here just fisting APA, and credit to APA came up when Harry was. Is what I think. APA should have came up sooner, and I think that would have resulted in something better for Team Liquid.
Nah, the issue is APA
they should have threw away Harry weeks ago.
The issue is APA had no experience. Period. Even if you would have got the season split, you're playing against middle laners that have years of experience, while you're literally coming out.
That's kind of how you have to get in, though.
That's the issue. The issue is they should have replaced them with somebody else, not APA. I'm not saying APA is bad. I'm saying they should have replaced Harry at the end of spring split.
Yeah.
APA should have never been in this position.
Man. I don't think they make playoffs with Harry the way he was playing. Like, given how they were playing, I don't think they would have made it with Harry. The playoffs.
Nah, I think they would have. Given
how bad the split was, maybe, probably.
They might have
made worlds.
They might have been lower. Harry
was playing really bad, man. Like, he was grieving.
Okay. Let's look at the 8 teams that made the playoffs to see who, even with they had Harry, who was
they had Harry, and this is counting Summit like popping off hard as he is, right?
100 C's, they would beat them. They
did beat them, yeah. So
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying even if they had Harry, they would have beat them. Because if Beerger was on there, maybe 100 C's win. But with Quid and the whole now you got to do the team thing all over again. Now you got to oh no, they definitely beat Dig.
Yeah.
That's
you're right. Dig for sure they win. My bad.
Dig bot lane is horrible. Yeah. Jensen fifth Harry, but that's
an interesting sight. TSM, I think didn't they beat TSM?
Yeah, they beat him at
TSM,
5,
didn't they?
I think Harry.
Dig beat TSM, but I think TL would still beat them anyway. Honestly,
I think TL still beats TSM.
I think they don't make worlds with Harry.
I think they do. And the reason why I say this is this. Go to Guardians peaked and then they started to come back down to earth. EG was Jojo Peon and Unforgiven at times and bust. Because think about it. EG went for the same thing. But the issue is this. Mm-hmm. At least with Team Liquid, they committed with just, all right, we're not bringing Harry back. He's gone. We're not going to act like he's here. We're going to have APA the whole time. We're going to live and die by APA. Because think about this. Fucking EG was doing that bullshit. It was like, oh, let's play Armal the first 2 games. Nigga, what? Shaden might not be the best player, but Armal
come in and win them a bunch of games after Armal was griefing them for 2 weeks straight.
And then don't forget in the playoffs, they brought Armal the first 2. That kind of threw off the rhythm because Shaden was the just guy in the corner shutting the fuck up. Like he was like, all right, he knew. He was like, oh, hey guys, this player's over here. Make sure it gets from behind. Armal wouldn't do that. Armal was quiet as a motherfucking mouse. Mm-hmm. Like Armal was garbage.
I think it's okay. So for APA,
I think Team Liquid still makes worlds. I think they still make worlds, but it's tougher. I think they still make it. I think Team Liquid makes world, or they're in the position where Go to Guardian is now. That's what I think of that. I think Go to Guardian, the Team Liquid switches. Because EG was literally JoJo Peon and Bugs, and JoJo was even inting sometimes. That's me. He just made.
He had to willingly try. He was just trying anything to get his team an advantage at any point.
And he couldn't do anything. He just could not motivate this dead team. Unforgiven was good when he got
Unforgiven can't get a laning because Unforgiven's more of a team fight ADC. It's hard to get in good team fight positions when your support is auto running it every game.
Oh my god.
Autopilot. Just okay, so you want to APA. Okay, so APA, he comes in week 5 for Team Liquid. Yeah, about roughly week 5 for the split. He comes in because Harry's just
Week 5.
One of the mid laners of all time.
No. It was like week 4. It was early. It was
around that time period. Yeah, they faced 100 Thieves and IMT. I think that week maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, he does very well, and this is a double-edged sword. So you need to get Harry out. Your only option right now in the moment, because roster locks have already happened. There's roster locks. There's a time in the split where like you can't change anything else because you're at a single point in the split where who do you want as your 6th man? So with APA, they go for him, and he plays well-ish for whatever LCS quality mid laner can go for. Then this is that right there is going to be your double-edged sword. It's because he's a rookie. He's not going to have that playoff experience. He's going to have to basically go through like all these growing pains with you. But if you don't get rid of Harry, you may or may not make Worlds and do well in playoffs potentially. That's the trade-off you take. You either cut your hand off one way or you cut your hand off the other way, And, they do end up making Worlds with APA. They almost make the finals with him. But the problem here is if you're going to hear that and go, that must mean he was pretty good. No, guys. This is his first playoff, so it's somewhat understandable you play like this, give or take how certain rookies, because some rookies can come in and play really well, some can come in and play pretty bad.
Yeah.
It just depends on who the person is. He came in, he looked whatever kind of. He came into his first playoffs ever, multiple best of 5 series, and he looked pretty. Let's be honest here, he wasn't the reason why they ever won any of the series, honestly. And for being completely honest here, because I'm fair across the board, whether you're a rookie, you just started, you coming back, he was never the reason why they won in those games. Ever. Most of the reason why TL won any of these games is because of Summit and sometimes PO sick.
Yeah.
They call him in chat Core GG. Core JJ, you're right. You and Sean are right. That guy need to retire. I'm retire. Please.
Like I love Core JJ, but
I do. He's an awesome guy, man. I met him, talk to him. Retire, please, buddy.
Like, I mean, yeah, no, I've met him once.
You see those rel engages he was doing? I was like, bruh, if
I met him
anyone
once
does that
through
shit
Zoom.
in my games, I'm reporting you.
I met him once through Zoom. I feel like he'd be a great coach. I feel like if he transitioned, because the way he talks to his teammates, he has a Mr. Miyagi kind of sense to him, where he's always cheerful, even when they're losing. He's always cheerful. Mm-hmm. That's how I felt like if he just decided, you know what, guys, I'm gonna retire to become coach. Man, people are gonna love it. It's like, all right, cool. Now we need to find a way to get new players. Like, who do we get beyond? Oh, let's get Winsome, because fucking FlyQuest don't want him. They decided.
Hot take. Maybe no. I'll just be a hot take. I wouldn't be surprised if Jojo Pion plays for Cloud9 next year.
I would not be.
Jack likes to go out and get random people, so who knows? He might grab a motherfucker no one thinks is good, dusts him off, turns him into a good mid laner, sells him again.
This is what I kind of wish Cloud9 would have kept Jensen. Part of me wish.
The issue here is Jensen. I love Jensen, money, man, but he was playing bad too.
I'd rather have Jensen.
Do you think today, if Jensen had 4 kills on Yone, that results in a game 5?
Yes.
That's crazy. I was gonna say yes too.
Because Jensen doesn't end. Jensen takes this game seriously.
Jensen himself will take 50 CS less in lane to have a better impact in game. As long as he knows he doesn't die, he'll have the best impact.
Yep, because
Amenas is like, I have 4 kills. I'm invincible. I'll just go and run it. No, buddy, you can't do that.
You can't do that. It's like, you can't. It's like, okay.
You can't get all, because that's the reason why. That's the reason why I criticize mid laners hard to do. It's like he had all the every possible lead you can have in game 4. They need to win this game to get to game 5. He gets all the kills. You're like, all right, he's on Yone. All right, you stop with Yone early on, you win. Yeah. Like, people can't be like they didn't give him any resources. It's like, yes, they did. They gave him all the resources you needed. What other better resource? How many teams out there in game 4 situations go, dude, you're the mid laner. You know what, Rob? We're having a rough series here. I know you're fucking Korean, so you can't really see properly. You're also running it. We'll give you the resources. We'll give you the strong early game pick in Yone. We'll give you the counter pick Yone against Nico. Yone obliterates Nico. He gets all the resources. Imagine the scenario. He gets all the resources. He gets all the kills. Then in mid game, just runs it.
There's another thing I did want to bring up about Cloud9, and we can go into more about this on Saturday.
Okay.
I think this might have been the series that makes it now that Berserker might want a new support.
I'll be honest, I want to leave the whole entire region. For being honest here, maybe I think you said about Worlds. If they don't do well Worlds, he's just gone for the entire region.
Yeah, I think once his contract is up, he's not resigning. Because they're the way. If you look at how
he looked so sad when they lost, he looked like fuck.
I think it was
absolutely gapped,
and it was to the team. No one saw. To me, I still think NRG are fraud. Something about NRG is like I still look at you as the same team that got ass smacked by fucking IMT. I know it was months ago, but it's like you can't keep playing down to competition.
Well, the thing here in this kind of scenario is they had a good record against top tier teams. Actually, they had the best record against every top tier team. But they faced every top tier team. They faced all of them except for Golden Guardians. They faced Golden Guardians. They faced every person better than them in one.
But then Palafox should not be mad that none of his teammates got all pro.
I think if you're being honest, he's the only person that you argue could be there.
I think
because Ignor for sure shouldn't be there.
I would argue for him, but the reason why I don't is because I'm gonna look at the games where you threw or your team did not perform.
But this is why I favorite NRG is the fact that there's no bad teams to play down to the playoffs.
There's no bad team.
They have the higher seed, so they're only going to face the best teams they already had a great record against. So, to be fair, yes, in a way, you're right. It kind of played into their favor because they're only going to face the teams that they were good against.
That's why once you get to the playoffs is a whole new season. That's why I said in the playoffs,
this is real League of Legends, actually.
Yeah, it's like, but none of those players should be mad that none of them got all pro team.
Ignor should not. Ignor is running it.
Ignor definitely. But and Dokla at times, because Dokla at times was not existing.
I mean, we also said FBI was good. I think FBI could have been.
No, I've been saying FBI is good.
I was at FBI with over 6A.
I said, oh no, definitely. I said the last year when FBI left, wanted to see they're going to miss them, but that team couldn't work anymore. None of them.
Yeah,
because sometimes you're 5 great players, but sometimes you just don't gel well. That's why, when I left that Yu-Gi-Oh team, because it was just. None of us we like hanging out with each other, but when it came to what we came here to do, no, I didn't enjoy playing Yu-Gi-Oh with you. And then they didn't enjoy playing League of Legends with each other. That's why FBI had that whole thing with Huhi where he's like,
it's crazy
he's
though.
still my
FBI
friend, but
are the only guys from that team to go to Worlds this year. People have to understand that, the way you criticize a player is, I can only criticize a player from their position of a certain year. You know what I mean? So someone starts playing better in the next year. How the fuck would I know?
That's how I said it. It was a new environment. And think about it, he's been on 3 teams in a year.
He liked Golden Guardians before. He was on Golden Guardians before. Who he was.
Think about this. FBI was on 3 teams within 3 splits. And think about it, and the thing was who he is. He has an ADC that's not going to challenge him on certain things because who he sees the game differently.
Well, 6A is also a guy that 6A is not FBI where he'd be like, man, give me fucking counter pick on rotation 3 or whatever.
Also,
he's the guy that'll be like, he's the guy that'll be like, just give me Sivir, just give me fucking Aphelios. Not Aphelios, that's a carry champion. He'll take the first pick so you can have the better pick for yourself.
Plus who he doesn't coddle Stixay like some other people does. It's plus Stixay can't say anything. Apparently,
did the coach say that who he was like that? Who he's the guy that's going to be like, hey, let's get it together. We're playing like shit right now.
Yeah, how many times who he was on Stixay's ass and Stixay just man, I gotta play better.
I promise you guys right now, if they replace who he with anybody with 6A will look like literal shit again.
It was put Stixay on 100 seasons boost, yo, and that bot lane is. I'm dead.
Take that bot lane, throw that shit in the literal landfill. I'm dead at shit.
Boostio is smart, and I remember someone I was like, Boostio's the guy who knows the game, but the way he plays it is so unorthodox.
I will say this for him. Maybe next year with a different ADC, he might look different. Because remember the rumors were that Double If wanted to play with Biofrost over Boostio. That final game they had against Team Liquid, that final series. Yeah. So if that's true, I'm not saying it is, but if that's true, Busio or Double aren't beating them. 100 these next year, or coming up after Worlds, because that's when you can officially announce players. guys, this team's not staying together. I don't know what people think. I know Double was like, I don't want to be the guy to no Double F. That shit's changing. Okay, let's not kid ourselves here. All this whole roster is changing. I don't know who they're gonna get. I don't know who they should start to look for. But if I doubt they're getting rid of Sunday. Sunday's the one person I think they're gonna keep because they just literally rebought him, and there's no point in just losing him again if you just pay all the money to get him back. You know what I mean? And the upsides to Sunday are really good, actually. I mean, he's playing on form. He's really good.
I think now if they keep Sunday, they might keep Closer and try to rebuild that thing they broke.
Do you keep Closer again? That's the thing, you know?
Because the thing about it, Closer's been best when he was with Sunday. That was the thing.
Closer was also his best with Huhi, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they mentioned the fact that Huhi was able to shot call and do his thing, so it allowed Closer to be more, be more free.
Yeah, because I remember they said they wanted us, and that was the other rumor back last year. 100 Seeds could have paid a little more. They would have had a team of Sunday, Closer, Beergen, Double Lift, and Huhi. There was, but it was like this because there were some rumors going around that they almost were going to sell off their academy team, and whatever players got picked up, they didn't would have got sold off to whoever, because there was a point where Busio Tenacity would have ended up on 100 Seeds. There was like a 10% chance Busio might have been playing for Busio could have either been playing for Dig or I forgot what the team needed support last year. And Tenacity would have been playing for fucking EG.
Okay, right now Amenas tweeted out he's sorry. It's okay. Shit happens, it's not just his fault, but he's the reason why they lost game 4. Him and Blabbers this time smite.
He's the reason why they lost game 3 too. He's the reason why they lost his goddamn series.
I guess throw this motherfucker in the trash. This guy said, "Don't listen to any of the hate. You're such a bright spot in the league, in game and out." Okay, Mr. Davis, none of that shit matters when it comes to if you play badly, someone wants to get rid of you. He's a great person to a certain extent, and he might be a great addition on any team, not so Cloud9. But the thing here people understand is most of the time you lose like that, teammates are going to be like, man, he's such a great guy last few months ago. It's not how this shit works. I know it's shallow and not a good thing, but I'm just saying, that's just how it works, Now, what else with Cloud9 or NRG? I mean, it was nice to see Contracts win. Contracts was a former C9 jungler. He lost that split where Jensen didn't press Zanya's against Bjergsen and Biofrost. That split. It was a game 5-2. He lost to Cloud9. And in 2021, he's right. The EG coaching staff with Peter Dunn gave him a chance. He played very well in that summer split. It was against did he play against 100 Thieves that series? He did. He played against 100 Thieves that series. Yeah, that was the first one he came back to. They were trying him out over Sven. So Skaren was pretty washed by that point. So they played Contracts. He played really well. He got a chance to be on CLG. He looked pretty off on CLG when he first got there, but started playing better and better. And, it's nice to see him finally get a chance to lift the trophy. Another ex-C9 player winning the trophy again. It's awesome. Dokla, a guy that came in horrible on Optic Gaming, got thrown out of the league. It's true. He was playing on amateur teams. Fought his way all back up through Proving Grounds, was the Proving Grounds MVP, came back on, got on CLG, lost all those clutch best of 5s last year against Team Liquid, lost on playoffs last split too, to finally win a trophy. Palafox ex-C9 Academy mid laner, had a really rough split on FlyQuest when he first started out, but finally started coming into his own. Who else was there? FBI came on 100, obviously was on Golden Guardians, when he had key support, looked good, almost got to World, lost to TSM, went to 100 Thieves, obviously, won with the 100 Thieves, went back-to-back finals. This is his 4th finals, actually, now at this point. This guy's just one of the best ADCs in the league, obviously. Ignar is a guy that I've been watching for many years. Him finally lifting the trophy, that's good. That's good for him, I mean, it's nice that they win. You know, they're the better team on the day, and you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. They're the better team today, and hopefully they can not go 0-6 at Worlds as being the first seed, as the curse always stands. You know, even Cloud9 can't outrun the first place in a team curse of just getting ass stomped at Worlds. So the other thing to mention is, I know people, there was this weird thing of like, I'm tired of C9 winning. It happens in every league when a team wins enough. Fans always go, I'm just tired of this team winning. I'll say this: if a team doesn't deserve to win, whatever that means to a lot of people, I don't care if it's someone new winning. This is not a popularity contest. The best team should win. You know, for like in an idealistic world, right? The best
for new fans, it does make it seem like it's only a one team race. That's the issue. It's all about new fans.
If you're a new fan, then I get where you're coming from with that. But for me personally, with any league, it's not just league itself. I'm talking like sports too. If I just want to see the best team win. I don't care about all this random team should win because like friendship. That doesn't mean anything. It's not a popularity contest. The best team should win. That should be the thing. Like if Team 1 were better than GenG and won last night, be like, all right, that's a better team. What can I do? You know, fuck it. You know, it's just you should want a strong team to win to have obviously a convincing showing. But you know, I get it from both standpoints. That should be pretty much it for today. For the most part, it's got to go and watch the rest of the league series. But you know, sucks to lose. 2 of the 4 teams I supported well today. GenG got the trophy. G2 got to Worlds. So at least I get my Cloud9 and G2 and GenG icons. I'm cool with that. You know, I have them all this year. You can have another T1 icon and another BLG one. Good Lord.
Yeah, and Weibo Gaming because of motherfucker.
That's just...
Hey man, the Shadow's gonna win the world, man. Let's go.
Was there any drama that ended up happening in league that I shouldn't? No. That lady from EG blocked me. I checked in an incognito tab. That bitch blocked me.
Yeah,
I said she was a pronoun in bio, fucking trans love and freak, and she blocked me.
Jesus. I'm not surprised.
She was being stupid because Heather Flowers is like, man, Nicole deleted her Twitter faster. You know, he did that funny tweet, and she was like, "Be better."
Be better. Yeah, I thought it.
Be better. That's what Nicole should be. Fuck, bitch. God damn. Be better. Tell your fucking owner to be better.
Get better.
Yes, lady.
Get better players. There's no reason.
They traded revenge. They traded fucking inspired for Armao. And people actually thought that was good.
Not even that. You had a chance to get Winsome, and you went with the guy that they were crap. That is like you went with the worst player out of the 2 from FlyQuest, and then you traded away your support for the guy from FlyQuest, the one who was beef. You traded the 2 guys that were beef with each other. Oh my god!
Who's the support? Vulcan. Yeah, they
traded Vulcan for Ayla.
For Ayla, who was obviously not the main issue with FlyQuest, but
he was the big issue.
Clearly playing awful.
You could have got Winsome. You had a chance to get Winsome, and you went Ayla. Okay, that's strike 1. Unforgiven, in my opinion. He was decent. He was great. He was great for what they needed, even though they could have just kept FBI. But no, that's all another story. All right, cool. Jojo Pion, they kept on. Right, cool. They got Armao. They let go expired. I don't understand that. You had a chance. You could have.
They got rid of an MVP jungler who had not only won a title for them. It was the MVP for LCS and LEC as a jungler. You know how hard that is.
Yep. There was a world where you could have probably gave Team Liquid some money to get Whippo. There's a world where you could have gave Team Liquid some money to borrow Whippo for a split. Because Whipple's just making contact right now.
Yeah.
He ain't doing a goddamn thing. Whipple, you could have had Whipple and Inspire back on the team together. I think with JoJo. Could have kept FBI and got Winsome. And you went the hallway route around. And now you don't make words, JoJo's MVP. Yeah, I mean, he was the best player on he was the best player in his role, in a sense. Like to me, it's like because like when you look at top 3 mid laners, you go JoJo. Who do you go next? Gory, Palafox.
Hmm.
Who was the top 3 mid laners again? It was
JoJo, Gory, Pal Fox, and I wouldn't really count on Menace. I thought he actually kind of played pretty bad for the summer split. But if you want to count him, then just throw him in there.
Oh no. Okay.
Who else would be there? I saw just those 4.
Okay. My question was who?
Oh, I thought Insanity actually played well. I thought Insanity actually played really well. Honestly,
he didn't play enough games. Though. They kept swapping him out. That was
No, he only missed 3 games. It was just the ones with Ruby. He played it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Never mind. Okay.
You're talking about Harry and APA.
Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. Who actually got all pro?
Gory, and Menace, and fucking
JoJo.
Yeah.
JoJo's the only one that's all right. He's first seed. He's first all pro. Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. First team all pro. If fucking NRG would have just won 1 game against IMT, and like say if I was voting, I might have voted Palafox, but like that's the issue with some of these people. They look at every team you win and every team you lose against. Palafox is better than Gory, and at times better than Gory. He's better than the Menace. The issue
here is, I think
it's regular season too. They're only going off regular season. That's the issue. Uh-huh. You are 9-9, and
all I ever mentioned was this is a strong team given their inconsistency. This is a strong,
that's the issue.
That's the thing here is like when they're playing. I even mentioned weeks ago they're
one of the stronger teams.
They're strong, right? I never really ever doubted them. I was just doubting like I know this is a good team. How the fuck you losing all these bottom tier teams? Why these bottom tier teams? These are stomps.
It's crazy. It's like you beat 100 seeds when they were same record as you or one game ahead of you, and then when they're below you, you lose to them. That's the issue right there. It's like you shouldn't be getting 2-0 by IMT. That right there is what cost every one of those players an all pro. Because okay, let's be honest. Okay, MSK, can you bring up the all pro teams again? Because because to me,
that's what they think. I'm glad you brought this up. Before we go into that, just for a second, they should announce the MVP earlier in the split. They need to stop doing it finals weekend. First of all, if they deem it's a regular season thing, that's cool. Announce that when you do the fucking season's over. Then
this is okay.
Reason for MVP to be announced in the finals. If it's for regular season, they just have a finals. They just have a playoffs MVP. Then you can do that. Just have a playoffs MVP.
Because this is what I would have done. Like NBA, NFL, and MLB, they'll let you know who's the finals MVP and who's the regular season MVP. Because regular season MVP is JoJo. I think he was the best player for his role. The
reason why I would say over Berserker, I know Berserker played well, but the thing here is, imagine a world where you have to carry Revenge, Armal and Shaden, Ayla. Imagine a world of that, and get them to 3rd place.
Yep.
12-6.
Yep.
Top 3 in the league.
Yeah.
His top laner was Revenge. That already right there means you should be like fighting for 9th, maybe.
And the reason why Berserker didn't win because it's
anyway.
Yeah, that was the thing too.
I don't mind someone winning multiple times, but then again, if you already kind of had one, it's like I already got it.
It's the best. See, it's the whole thing where people say they get bored with new champions. I don't mind the same people win the MVP. If that person is the best player, because people have to define how you voting. Are you voting for the best player?
For me, it was between them. It was really between those two. But I would have given it to Berserker again. But dude, imagine a team where you have to carry Revenge and Ayla. That is so much harder in context.
Okay. The real question
you said the teams. Oh, here they go.
Yeah. Real quick. The real question is,
Huhi was my 3rd one too, so this is fine. This is okay.
Real quick before we move on. Uh-huh. How do you factor MVP? Do you go because with me, I go by which player on which team impacted
I'll tell you what I don't
the
do.
most.
I don't do it as a best player thing. I know a lot of people do best player. No. most valuable doesn't mean best. I don't know where. I know the other people think it is. That's fine, but that's not what it's called. It's most valuable. That doesn't mean best. That right there doesn't mean best. Most valuable, as if like if they don't have this guy, this team's probably looking like some shit.
most valuable sometimes do mean best
for that team.
Not for the whole league, because that's the issue too. The NBA right now.
Yeah,
because they'll go, oh, this is the best player for the league. No, what about his team? Like if you took Westbrook off the
if you told me Berserker was the best player in the league, I'd be like, oh, he can win that award, but is he MVP? Yeah. That's a little bit different though.
But see, that's like you need to make another thing called best player.
You know what? Like next year, I know we did this a few years back.
Yeah,
we're gonna do that for sure. Starting next, we'll start at Worlds then. Starting at Worlds this year, we're going to have several categories for players. We're going to do MVP, we're going to do best player, and we're going to have all pro teams for Worlds for the most part.
Because JoJo to me was the most
We'll have like most surprise player.
Yeah.
What's another one? Biggest surprise player. What's another one we could have? Most underrated player to surprise. Like that's biggest surprise. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So for me,
JoJo to me was honestly the most valuable player to the team, because like what you said, you take him off the team, that team is 0-18. If you
throw Bigla in there, throw any LCS mid laner, not him potentially, outside of two others,
swap JoJo and a menace, and Cloud9 might go 16-2, and EG might go 2-16. Like. That's the thing too. It's like take them off the team. How valuable are they without? How valuable is he to the team? I think he was the most valuable player to his team. I think Berserker was. You know the issue is Berserker and Blabber. They're.
Think about this. Blabber has not Berserker in his case. I'm not saying that because it's not a player's fault they have they end up situation like that. Because some people have been I know people try to play it too much the other way. It's like so. For me, I look at it like this. Berserker got because to me, if a player just gets his recognition once to be an MVP, I think that's good enough. I think that's fine. Because I want some of the best players that I watch at least get the recognition. Berserker has already gotten the recognition that he's been MVP. I mean, getting it again when he deserves it is fine. I think he also did deserve it too. But the thing here is, if you're talking about just the way, because you have to only pick one, Berserker gets Blabber, the best jungler in the league. He gets Fudge, one of the best top laners in the league. Right, that already is by far and away steps ahead of where you should be in a position to do anything. He has a autopilot support, so that's also hard to do. So that's the only really problem he's got going for him. JoJo was playing with players that should have already never had spots to begin with, and are probably on their best day top 7.
You were playing with players that got thrown off other teams.
Remember, his team is literally full of just reject players no one wanted.
Think about this. 100 Thieves did not want to bring up Unforgiven.
Mm-hmm.
FlyQuest just got rid of Ayla. Like, they brought him
IMT willingly got rid of Revenge. Not a bad idea.
IMT
of all people had standards. IMT, orgs finished disgusting 9th.
And you decided this is the play you wanted. I'm like, okay. You could have got Whipper. You could have paid another $100,000 to get Whipper. Whipper was just sitting on his goddamn computer.
Yeah, the only problem with IMT is that they didn't get rid of Kenvi. I mean, they're like, Revenge, no, you can't be here. Kenvi, yes. Okay, IMT.
I think Revenge was worth it, Kenvi. That's just.
I guess you just toss a coin on that one.
Yeah, it was literally flip a coin. It don't matter. You're fucked anyway. It's like
that's just my thing. I think. In a perfect world, Berserker is fine to get it to. There's no wrong I like MVPs like that where there's no real wrong answer.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, you're like, it's so much harder carrying Ayla and Revenge than it is carrying Blabber and Fudge.
Yeah.
Is also credit him. He also played well this split too.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where he's playing on a team with fucking River and Gory and Stixay. That team finishing second in the split. Second. So who was the second team? That would if this was an actual team, that'd be like fucking 8th in the league.
Because think about this. Okay,
imagine if Zen was Stixay support. Oh hell nah, run that shit down to the ground.
So you got Summit. It's like okay, you got the East. You got the East meets the West. Lily.
I also thought Summit played better than Licorice though. I thought Summit did so much for his team.
I think he did, but Licorice played more consistent games than Summit. There are some Summit games where you were wondering what.
I was just confused because, like, if Summit wasn't playing as good as he did, I mean, TL probably looks like ass, honestly.
Okay, at this point, who is there? Like, is there any? Okay, let's go back up to the second team before we go down to third team.
Okay.
Is there anybody from NRG you would put here? Because there's nobody on first team I'm replacing with NRG.
Palafox and FBI can go right here.
Okay.
For being honest. Contracts could probably end up getting third.
No. Okay.
Sorry, you just said second. My bad.
Ignar's
not coming here.
I would say, Ignar's not making.
Ignar doesn't get any spots.
Okay. This might be a hot take. Uh-huh. This might be a hot take. I would probably.
I got third. Just me once to go. Okay.
Unforgiven? Yeah. No, I would drop Unforgiven off the list. I would drop him off the list.
Yeah, the only person that really deserves to be here for just those two, honestly.
There is an argument for contracts. There's an argument, but it's one of those, like, how do you value the jungler position? That's the jungler role.
I will say that he got them into those early game leads a lot.
Yeah.
He's the one that kind of got their train started a lot.
Yeah.
Piosik and him are
that's the issue.
If you're throwing contracts in here, contracts is fine in this third spot.
It was like, honestly, this
and if you're looking back at it from this series they played this weekend.
If I'm looking at the whole split for all team pro,
yeah,
I'm moving Gory and Stixie down and I'm putting Palafox and FBI here.
Mm-hmm.
I think FBI just played better than Stixie, in my opinion.
Yeah. What about Dokla? Do you think he edges out these guys?
Nah.
He had moments where he looked good.
Yeah, moments, but it was never a full game. There was never because top lane is like, I don't think he ever played better than Licorice. I don't think there's ever been a moment I'm like, okay, Dokla is playing better than Licorice. Definitely not Summit. Even when there was game, Summit was just straight ending and Fudge. It goes. It's back and forth between him and Fudge.
The only problem here, for me, if you're asking for Summit goes to first, Licorice second. Could you make an argument for Dokla to be here?
You know the crazy part about it is I might actually put Fudge over Summit.
To be fair, Fudge was in a lot of winning moments.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing too. I think
you value a person being in winning moments a lot, other than just
because I think Summit is better than both of them. But I think Summit's been in too many situations where he almost cost the team the game, and that's why when I say no NRG players should be mad that he didn't make all pro, because you gotta look at the regular season. If they're just going off regular season, none of them will make it. If you're going off the whole split, like I would do with all pro team, like JoJo has to be first only because the team's so exhausted.
Well, and I know people are gonna be like, "Are you putting him first?" Because he actually played legitimately well in all their games.
He was literally what the year Faker carried 4 players to finals and they were bad.
2017.
Yeah,
2017 Worlds. Yeah.
That's how I felt with fucking JoJo this year. It was literally JoJo and unforgivable at moments, because if it's anybody that says that Revenge or Ayla were good at any moment, they need to just have that League of Legends eSport account deleted immediately. Revenge was always losing his fucking lane, and Ayla just never supported fucking Unforgiven. I felt bad.
Do you factor that Ayla looked like Delight if Delight was skinny and blind? Yeah, it's a tatted slut. What the heck? I like sluts.
Oh my god, I felt bad for Unforgiven.
Lennon was a tatted slut.
Man, she wouldn't be a virgin.
Oh God.
That'd be for sure.
Because I know people. So the last thing we'll go over before NRG, before we talk about more about them next on Saturday. So guys, we'll have a bonus episode coming up on Saturday. We'll start our Sunday episode too. We'll still have our Saturday episode because that way I can cover like the European stuff that happens too. So I know people were like, but that's CLG. No. That's NRG. This is NRG's spot. Okay, it's not CLG.
With some of CLG's
some of CLG's remaining players.
Yeah.
Like this is NRG. This is not CLG. NRG acquired some of CLG's players. They acquired Palafox, Dokla, and Contracts. Yep. If it was CLG would keep that ass bot lane they had before.
Luger and
Poom.
Oh yeah. Didn't Poom go over to
he was on Dig.
Dig, yeah, he was on.
He replaced Diamond.
Yeah, oh my God. You did not like Diamond one bit. I was like, this motherfucker
might have been the biggest intro I've ever seen in play league.
Oh yeah, biggest in more ways than one.
Emphasis on the big.
Yeah, emphasis on the big. That motherfucker like him some KFC. Go to KFC and get him an 8-piece, and he called that breakfast. I was like, damn, nigga, you have to eat a whole 8-piece by yourself.
Eating a whole Lennon's ass for breakfast? Wait, what?
Hey, man. Put some hot sauce on that motherfucker.
You might shit in your mouth.
Hey, yo, that's I'm good.
Whoa. Then you throw that bitch out a window.
No, you just bend over and put a finger in there. But on that note, yeah, that's these series were nuts, man. It was like some of these series I looked at, I was like, okay, I knew.
And I told people Cloud9 doing those kind of games where, like, I'm not saying that the enemy team would have won those games, but the way that they were winning early on means that those games should not have played out the way they did. And if you eventually it will catch up to you that you're playing early game that bad will catch up to you.
Yeah,
it so happened that NRG played better. NRG's early game was always better than theirs. It wasn't just that because first of Cloud9's early game was really, really suspect. The entire just by getting first. People be like they had a suspect. Yes, you can get first and have a suspect early game. FlyQuest had that, you know. Like they had a suspect early game. They made a lot of bad mistakes in the early game. At some point, there will be a team that will see those mistakes and capitalize on them. And Dokla's he tweeted, "I am him. I am a champ." I'm proud for him. You know, I'm proud for all the guys, especially for FBI. A guy people say they should have kept Luger. All right, I want to see how that take aged like milk, expired milk you left in your fucking fridge for months.
No, that shit aged like sour cream, like my nigga. That shit is bad. Milk. That shit expired. Like that take expired once fucking NRG got the playoffs. I was like, yep, that take did age. With that clip, this ain't gonna age well. I was like, yep.
It's that Shocks thing. She had a thing. It was like that did not age well.
Yep.
If you as a person thought NRG replacing Luger for FBI was an L, promise me you'll never ever be in an LCS org making decisions. You'll be playing with Luger getting 9th place while FBI is winning trophies.
And I'm gonna say this also. EG, whoever decided to pick these players up need to be fired expeditiously. They need to be the minute Worlds is over, that guy who hired those players, whoever made that decision to get Revenge, Armal, and fucking Ayla, fire them immediately. Whoever signed off on that decision needs to be fired.
Before we go, this might be a little bit of a hot take. Looking at how this LCS summer split went, and yes, I do think some of the NRG players were massively underrated by a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think I'm not saying this because Cloud9 lost. This is completely just what I'm seeing right here. There's a world. This is a one-time thing for a very long time. I think things will somewhat move back. Pendulum will swing back eventually by starting next year, actually.
What do you mean Pendulum will swing back?
I doubt this org wins anything for a while, I mean.
Cloud9?
No, I'm talking like maybe TL wins, 100 Thieves makes a better roster. They'll be in the conversation to win again. You
Do
know,
you think?
do you really think this roster is going to go back-to-back finals? You really think that?
You talk about Cloud9?
No, I'm talking like this kind of an org. I don't see it. I don't see them being multiple final appearances. You know, not even just with this roster. You know, this roster too. I don't think this roster makes finals next split in spring coming up. But then again, if the LCS changes to the LEC format, much higher potential because there's 3 splits at that point. You know, I could see this roster, if they're having issues in spring, making a change. You know, because everything's always fine and dandy when you're winning. I guarantee you, when they go to Worlds, they're about to look at some of these guys a lot differently. Go to Worlds and start scrimming with these guys, and all of them start using.
I think they're doing that now. They're looking at it like, all right, cool. A Menace is gone. Yeah. But who else needs to be gone?
I think Sven doesn't stay support. Sven does not stay support another year. No way.
I think Berserker has to look in the mirror and realize you got 2 options. If you decide to keep Zen as your support, you'll never win in NA. Or you could decide to just go back to Korea and play for fucking...
I think the players have talked about this on Cloud9 too. It's more like they already figured out how to win NA. They're looking towards validating this roster's existence by beating an Asian team. And, you know, I guess that they already have a lot of trophies. They've won a lot. I'm not saying you can't win more, and more wouldn't be fine, but, you know.
My biggest thing is who do you replace the Menace with? Like, because that's the first obvious question.
If you're gonna replace him, at least don't replace him with someone of his caliber that takes up an import slot. That'd be like the first thing, you know. Remember, people Menace takes up an import slot. I personally think that because Menace, he did peak pretty hard in spring. Someone said, "Would you have liked the world where they kept Diplex?" It just depends on. I think they gave up on him a little bit too soon. Honestly.
I don't think they ever had faith in him. I think he was always meant to be temporary.
Yeah, I think Menace was always going to be the starter. But you know, you look at the series and you look at how Menace has played out for Cloud9, and you look at like
there might be a world Diplex might have been better. He might have been worse.
Yeah,
but the thing I'm gonna say is look at their body language. I don't think C9 liked either one of them. I don't think Blabber or Berserker.
Remember, they genuinely liked playing with Jensen. Problem is, they didn't have enough money early on. Well, when they were doing their finances, Jax, the thing
about Jensen doesn't have to be the best player. He just had to. Think about they said he was a leader too. Him and
that's the thing too. Is we're looking at how Menace has played out as not only just a personality, but for Cloud9 himself. I could see why those teams that he didn't do well on didn't vibe with him.
He might have been toxic in a way where he, like, people call me toxic because I was never always the cheerful guy. I was the guy that came into work, did my job, and went home. I was never, because they said Menace was a little bit off-putting on the way he talked sometimes. It was like he was never negative. It was just like he was a little too blunt. And some people don't like bluntness. People don't like when someone just tells you what they are feeling.
Well, if you've seen him play as a personality, then also play out his league games, I could see a world where there's a reason why this guy wasn't picked up by people. Now, Cloud9, they're like, okay, maybe we'll be the people to change him. And you got something out of him. You got him a trophy. He went to MSI. So when you saw him at MSI, him at MSI, the way he played, the way I was like, no. And that's just, I saw that and I was like, all right, I know how this is going to play.
You saw him in that video where he was saying, oh, these guys are just going to beat me. They're just much better than me. I have no chance of winning. I'm like, dude, it's one of those things.
Well, and then even his words played out in his gameplay. This man literally, I think, never even took a risk of trying to play a game to win.
Yep. That
just looks terrible. I'd rather you run it down and attempt to at least try some shit than sit there and do nothing and just do nothing at all. I'd much rather you prefer to try something and at least fail with it. It's just looking at how those other teams probably threw him away, given how he speaks, how he carries himself. Not a bad person, but I can see why that doesn't vibe with a lot of people. It's just a very weird, not typical Korean, actually, you know?
Yeah.
So after that game 4 of Yone, when he played with in NRG, I just don't see a world where he stays on Cloud9 anymore. Unless Cloud9 make top 4 at Worlds, which is really, 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 really doubtful about that. he's done. That game 4 just fucking sealed it. Game 3 was the start of it. Game 4 seals it.
Yep.
There's no way. There is no way he stays on Cloud9. I don't believe it. Oh, this whole Cloud9 roster is changing. The only players that I think stay is just Fudge and Blabber. If I'm being honest here, they've won multiple times together. But how many times can you just keep this top side duo together and they just kind of flub out of worlds too?
I think Blabber might be the only one that stays. I think that's what it is.
They should probably just open the bank for Blabber, like Sean said a while ago too.
I don't know if I do that. I don't know if I do that.
It depends on his demeanor and his attitude toward the org. Afterwards.
I might give it one more year.
Because if he wants to be here and if he wants to play on Cloud9 and he likes the org and he understands,
I wouldn't open the bank for him. That I wouldn't do
for a player of that caliber. I
don't think
if he's super dedicated and wants to play and he still wants to be, I probably would, honestly. You don't want that guy going to another team.
I don't want him going to another team, but I don't want Cloud9 making a mistake and paying over much, and then he's just not as good as he used to be. Sometimes money will cloud someone's judgment to the point where they don't play as passionate. That's the issue. You want to keep people hungry. You don't want to underpay them, but you don't want to overpay them. You want to figure out how much.
The thing here is, I would attempt to make a good offer for him because the thing here is,
how much would
any other team, he might just end up just beating them. Honestly, you know.
I mean that's how it usually happens. It's like
that's kind of how sports goes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
But you don't want to be on the receiving end of that. That's worse. It's like,
but sometimes you are.
Why'd you give up that guy? It's like we could have kept him. He was there.
He get their work for our team. Sometimes it's like a player's great, but if he doesn't vibe with the other players, it's like it's like think about it. FBI was one of those players. FBI are
also the FBI roster is the head coach was Mithy. Guess he's the head coach of Cloud9, Mithy. Just I liked the coaching staff they had last year of Dardo and not Dardo. What's his name? That one guy who's he was head coach for TSM. What's his name? Chuds? Choose? Whatever his fucking name is. Like that guy was good. I don't think Mithy's a bad coach. I've always said Mithy has a ceiling as a coach. You know how Mithy's gonna draft. You know how his teams wants to play. The problem with the 100 Thieves last year with Mithy. You knew how they were going to draft. You knew how they were going to play the game. And C9 willingly went to him and were like, "Yo, you going to be our head coach?" It's like, "Oh fuck, bruh." So like, I lose 2 finals straight and was like, "You can be our coach?" Probably not.
But he got to the finals though. He
gets to the finals multiple times.
That's the thing too. It's like
he's won a few of them too.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you want to say before we head out this week, man?
Dude, literally, I stood up I went to sleep after game 3. Woke up. I woke up right after game 1 ended of G2. I already saw G2 was up 1-9. Saw BDS beat them game 2. I was like, these games are great. I have to finish watching the DFM. I know DFM went 5 in the Japanese finals.
Oh, I figured out why Udapon role swapped. Something happened with their DFM's top laner, like a really bad situation where they had to kind of get rid of him early on for something. So Udapon emergency swapped. I saw, why is Udapon playing top? I was like, bruh, what is this?
Yeah.
And then, I found out what ended up happening. But DFM, longest winning streak of any minor region team. Guess how many titles? 16.
That would never get beat. It would never.
For minor regions, that's never getting beat. The only the last time Japan sent a different team to Worlds was 2020. They've always sent DFM.
Yep.
Detonation, fuck me. That's what I always call them. Because they're definitely fucking Japan constantly.
Yep.
God.
I was kind of rooting for them too, only because that was the only team I knew. I was like, the one
that Reaper was on, I don't know how they did with that, but damn, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
As many times as Detonation Focus Me's been at Worlds, I could have had a full DFM wheel at this point. Fuck, they've been at Worlds like every year since like 20 something. You have a full wheel from the motherfucker. I should have a full Gen G wheel this year. It's gonna be at Worlds too.
It'll be Samsung/GenG. Yep.
Yeah.
DSM wins again. It was like,
I think I'll have a full T1 wheel too at some point.
yeah.
Oh, fun fact. This is the first year T1 will play Worlds in Korea. Every other time they've missed Worlds when it's in Korea as well. So,
what were the other years? It was
2014, 2018, and
that was it.
Were there Worlds 2021? Yeah.
It was 20. No, was it 2020 in Korea or that was China?
2020 was in Iceland.
Oh yeah. Why the fuck was it Iceland?
They had the least COVID restrictions.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Ain't nobody going to fucking Iceland. I gonna name a country Iceland, but you got more grass than Greenland.
They had hot springs there.
I know.
Crazy, right? But the player said the food was shit.
No shit. The fuck? I tried Iceland food.
Jensen said it was bland.
Yeah, because they don't know about no fucking seasoning. No, they really don't. It's salt and pepper seasoning to them. Oh fuck, bitch! You never heard of onion?
I know. Okay, last thing I'll say before we go.
We got cute women over there. I ain't gonna lie though.
I know Monty on Power Spike said KT were gonna bounce back against T1. I don't think it works that way. I think when situations play out for a team like that, that team winning against a team that they know they probably shouldn't have picked, it's not gonna work out. I'm curious to see how well KT's gonna do at Worlds. Because the thing here, people are saying that LCK usually does pretty well if we're talking just group stages. They've always gotten first for the most part. Maybe this year will be different. I don't know how it's gonna play out because this year is shaping to be probably one of the biggest. Given like how the LCS played out, Worlds might play out that way. This shit is just we don't know what's gonna happen. Throw your predictions out the window. Hell, GenG might win Worlds, and if that happens, I'm backflipping out my window, hitting a fucking car.
What if finals is either GenG?
What was just GenG T1?
Oh fuck me.
Oh fuck.
Oh no, matter of fact, what if it's GenG versus G2?
My heart, I couldn't handle it. My heart might actually burst out of my chest. Or whoever wins, I win anyway.
What's the LPL team that you root for?
RNG. They ain't getting back to anything anytime soon.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
They lost their best players. They lost Xiaohu. It was their Perks, their best player forever, and they lost Uzi. They're not gonna be good for a long time. They might have that scenario kind of like the random LPL team that'll throw rejects together and they'll do well. That's gonna be their only hope, because they have a big issue with them. So
I'm gonna tell you this. This is my too early
predictions.
Too early predictions.
Is there a world where JDG don't win Worlds in your mind? Don't.
Yes, but the team that beats them is an Asian team.
Okay. That narrows it down.
They're the world. You're
saying like Mad Lions can't beat JDG, right?
Mad Lions might not even get out the group stage. In my scenario, the only Western team that get out, and one of them by a fucking shock, is G2's not a shock. G2 upsets. They're the world where G2 might end up in the same group as fucking LNG and or Weibo and beat them.
Well, since the problem here going into Worlds is since League has been so unpredictable this year, and the teams that were predicted to win have not been winning and getting just mostly railed in a lot of their early games. The only consistent team that has looked good just throughout the year, albeit a little bit of flubs here and there, is just BLG and JDG. For being honest here,
they're the
and
world
also GenG too somewhere.
They're the world that there's gonna be a rematch of a series we've already seen.
That's what I think. You're right. Yeah. What if it's a rematch? If it's JDG versus T1,
it might be. To me, it might be. There might be a world where JDG slips up, and it might be GenG versus. It might be GenG versus
It's GenG versus
BLG.
Tabe's, if they win, Tabe's running outside and just eating, backflipping.
And then there's another world where, and this is the world.
But I know this world's not a possibility. LCS doing anything. I know that's a possibility of never happening.
I got a weird feeling that one of the LCS teams could upset somebody.
Are you talking about just in a BO1 or the quarterfinals best of
BO1? BO1.
Okay, good. Yeah, because they're not winning a series against these guys. That's like a crazy.
No, I'm gonna say this: whatever group NRG gets in, they might end up in a tiebreaker.
I can see a world where that happens.
They might end up in a tiebreaker. Cloud9.
Do you
if Cloud9 ends up in a group with GenG, GenG.
Yeah, you might want to get on that plane early, if I'm being honest.
GenG, JDG, or who's the other fucking team? Or BLG.
Oh, I gotta head out.
Send Cloud9 home.
We'll do a bonus episode for you guys coming up on Saturday after the main show. But thank you
and then
so much.
And then I'll go over more about what I think what teams can win world. But there's a good chance that Cloud9 might go 1-5 in group stage.
Yes, guys, I'll have a better read on all the best of fives that I missed out on this week. But yeah, sucks that we couldn't get that three-peat like TSM and Team Liquid. But that's how all the cookie crumbles sometimes. You can't win them all. I just don't like losing in that kind of a fashion.
That fashion where
I'd rather lose in a nail-biting game 5 where a Menace didn't snap back to his Yone clone in time or some shit, and that's why we lost. It's like, okay, that still sucks, but at least you fought really hard to win. This just like these today came on stage and they just looked like they were just they had to have been bad scrims. They had to have had scrims against TL and NRG to the point where they got demoralized. It must just had what else could it be there?
They won game 1 convincingly. That's why I don't think it was scrims.
They probably thought that was shocking to them.
Yeah.
Because if that wasn't shocking to them, the other games play out in that fashion. They probably were like, damn, we actually beat these guys? Remember, NRG is just in their heads because they had the better record against them. And now since this split's over and they won, NRG, okay, so they beat them twice in the regular season. That's 2-0. They beat them 3 times here. That's 5. And Cloud9, they won 4 times against them, right?
Yeah.
3 in the playoffs.
They're 5-4.
1 game here. They're 5-4. God damn, man. That's the best record against Cloud9 people have against the split.
It's the best record, but people still don't have faith in NRG. And honestly, I think it's warranted. I think this is the thing I got about NRG too. There's a good chance NRG goes 0-6 in groups.
I'm not surprised at that. You think Powerful's gonna? Well, imagine a world where NRG has to face BLG. You're about to get fisted hard.
There might be a chance where NRG loses to fucking Taiwan or Vietnam. I'm gonna tell you why. These fuckers play to whoever the other team's playing to.
The only upset thing that I could give for them is they have a read of if they get a lead they can win, but they won't be getting those scenarios all the time against these other teams, guys. I know people like to have that as an advantage, but it's like you really think NRG is going to get advantages against some of these Asian teams like you against like Cloud9 and Golden Guardians?
This is what I know about NRG because I think they're doing the same format as last year. NRG is not going against GenG. They're not going against JDG, and they're not going against whoever's the first seed in LEC. They're not because they are not going to put the first seeded teams from the 4 major regions in the same group stage as NRG. That's what I know because they're doing the same thing as last year. They're going 4 China, 4 Korea, 3 LCS, 3 LEC. They're going to put them all in the group stage, and then whoever makes it between the LEC, LCS team plus the minor regions. That's mean there's a good chance. And NRG might be in a group with T1, BLG. It's gonna be one. There's a good chance they're more likely they're never gonna be in a group with either a Chinese or a Korean team. There's a good chance. There's a good actual chance they're gonna be in a team and they're getting waxed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the good thing about NRG winning. They're avoiding all the other teams, top teams.
That's actually that'd be more in Cloud9 and TL's favor. Usually, getting first means you have Riot's matchmaking system of you're also playing first best teams too.
But I remember Riot. There was something about right
But
there.
remember, man, the initial playing stage is gonna play out differently this year.
Oh
initially.
yeah, I forgot.
Remember?
Yeah,
So basically, randomly, NRG could face up against GenG, and good luck beating them. People think Palo Faker. How about Chovy fisting Faker? Chovy fisting Palo.
Imagine a group of NRG with GenG, JDG, and fucking Mad Lions.
How hard do you think Dokla gets stomped in 3 minutes?
Nah, fuck that, man. That bot, I'm gonna feel bad for FBI. He's gonna have to carry Ignore around.
FBI might want to get a new support in the offseason after how hard to get shit stomped at Worlds.
He better find a way to get Huhi. If Huhi don't make Worlds, he better find a way to get Huhi or go to Gardens for a rental. Because I mean, Ignore has experience, but it's like, do you really want to put Ignore versus fucking Delight and Pace?
Yeah.
You really want to do that to him? You really want to put a Menace versus Choke? Or no, not Menace. Palafox probably hold his own. He'll get beat. Oh man, but I do want to see a Menace versus Faker. I want to see that.
Yeah, I don't, because we saw that before, and that was horrible.
I want to see that again.
I don't.
I want to see a Menace entering into Faker.
We saw a Menace play up against Yagao and Chovy, and it actually looked like, how do I put this? It looked like if a fucking semi-truck ran over a tricycle.
Oh, we seen that. Go watch How High, where we seen a semi-truck run over a fucking bicycle, ran over, backed up and ran over it. Guys picked up the parts and then ran over it again. Yeah, yes. Oh my god.
All right, everyone. I'll be dropping more content coming up, more news videos based around movies, TV shows, anime, all that stuff, more Yu-Gi-Oh content, just basically all the content surrounding my favorite hobbies, dropping very, very soon. I haven't got a chance to record a bunch of new videos because I've been having to do a lot of stuff recently, but don't worry, guys. Consistent content is coming. Thank you guys for your support so much, and we'll see you guys. If you only just watch this throughout the week, we'll see you guys on Saturday, and you'll have your bonus episode then. So that means on Sunday we might have an episode, but fuck it, we'll cross the bridge when we get to it. All right, we'll see you guys.